We're different due to the fact we don't have the tax base or the revenue streams come in, state money. So formula-based, population-based stuff. That's why we have more federal, just because we don't have the state funds to be able to switch that around.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while.
February 3rd meeting to order. Weston County Commissioners. Would anybody care to do a quick invocation before we get into county business?
I will. Heavenly Father, we just come to you today and we just humbly ask for your wisdom, for your grace, for your love. Lord, we know that you are a God who prefers peace. You are a God who prefers order. And so, Father, we are asking for those things to rule and reign here. Lord, I ask that you will be with the commissioners, help their minds be clear and focused, and their hearts fixed on you. And we just give you all the praise and the honor and the glory, Lord God, in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son and our Savior. Amen.
Amen.
Commissioner Borton, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Walter.
You're welcome.
We have an agenda. Is there any additions or change? We need to add that. Did you guys get that email I sent?
I did.
Okay. It is.
Resolution?
Okay. Oh, it's on there. Never mind. The 245. Yeah. 245. Guess we'll just do one of them after.
Oh, oops. We can do them simultaneously. It'll be interesting.
There you go.
It's magic.
Is Vera gone today?
Yeah.
Nope, she's here.
Camel. Yes, sir.
Need to add, either do it under new business or in commissioner comment, at a online meeting with Wyoming congressional tour. They're gonna be here, just give an update on that and get some ideas. We're gonna start planning that and get that kicked around. That'll happen in August, sometime between the 10th and the 14th of August. Just need to put it wherever, under commissioner or in new business, doesn't matter. Or would you like it?
I guess the commissioner would work.
Okay.
What dates did you say on that?
It'll be sometime between the 10th and the 14th, that's the week this whole tour is going on.
14th of what month?
August.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, good, they're going to be here too.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll have something under commissioner comments too.
Okay.
On the hand count demonstration.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
Mr. Chair, move to approve.
Second.
Agenda as written.
Okay. Motion to approve the agenda as amended and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Vouchers.
motion to pay vouchers against the county excluding AdPro and those associated with the airport board.
Second.
A motion properly seconded to approve the vouchers minus the AdPro and airport board vouchers. No discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the airport vouchers.
Second.
A motion properly seconded to approve the airport vouchers. Any discussion?
I will recuse from the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm gonna do it. Mr. Chair, I move to approve all AdPro associated vouchers.
Second.
A motion properly seconded to approve all AdPro vouchers.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I will-
ma'am.
I will recuse myself.
Thank you, Ms. Erdman. Any discussion? Said that. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay.
Robert is just.
Is there any
rolling in his-
public comment?
I actually have one.
You bet, Walt.
Earlier in the meeting, Marty had mentioned that anybody is free to come in and look at the vouchers and go through them, and I know they're online and all that stuff. I just want to say that I think that it's a really good idea. If the public does come in, I hope they don't come in all at once, but it's pretty enlightening to be able to see that process happen. And it will clear up a lot of confusion that people may have. If they've got questions, so just come in and ask, take a look at it.
You bet, Walt. Thank you. Any other public comment? Hearing none, we'll patiently await a presentation.
Yeah, it's not gonna do it.
We can get the file from your email.
We can try it.
Because it's a PDF, so we wouldn't need PowerPoint.
So we're gonna have to run into potentially,
We don't have PowerPoint on this machine, so it looks like we're in the account for Microsoft.
I'm gonna give it an unhappy face about that. Well, I shouldn't have touched that. Story of my life.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Your email should have the file in it. It's just
Now. I've never opened my email on this computer.
Oh, that's the emergency. That's a private swipe. That's pretty big.
Pop quiz, where is that bridge?
Is it Kansas City?
I have no idea, I just asked a question. It's a cool bridge. Cool spreadsheet.
Where is that, do you
I don't
know?
know, but it's a
Are
cool
you
bridge.
smart enough to do the screen sharing?
There's two in a row. If you're coming through there, it's, there's one at St. Louis and in Kansas City.
Really? Oh, then I'm gonna cross it.
Both have stop.
Those are pretty cool. I think I would have watched it on, you know,
I tried once. clicking
Discover
on it.
America or something, but
It's amazing what they can do with certain architecture and how
Still thinking.
humans are amazing.
they really are.
Humans are amazing.
That is visually striking as can be.
They're amazing creatures. When they choose to be. But with every light, there is some darkness.
Yes, I bet you.
I try my best.
We all do.
We do it every year.
Okay, well, we'll get started, so, and I can look at the hand copy and go through it. Well, actually, yeah,
Does everyone have?
everybody has a copy, right?
We look at yours and I'll just.
Okay.
What's it? Yep. No problem. Oh, look at, oh. Man, who says you guys don't have any money?
All right. Well, it doesn't matter where I stand now, right? Yep, I can get out of the way. Okay, well, thanks for having us, Mr. Chair and County Commissioners. I'm Scott Taylor. I'm with YDOT District 4, Northeast Wyoming. We do this every year, different times of the year usually, but than what we're doing now, and we've changed that up a little bit to go through our state transportation improvement program. What our plan is for the next 6 years. We used to do these in anywhere from spring, summer, and fall to now we changed it in the winter. We changed that. The district engineers got with our executive staff to change the timing of that because we always prepare our STIP and turn it in and submit it to all the programs and everybody to review around May 1st. So the purpose of coming here is to get input from you guys and the towns and the public and whatever. So now we can take that input and have that ready to go in on May 1st, where before it was always about a year behind. There was a lag there. So we changed up the timing of these. So we actually haven't done one of these with you in over about a year and a half. So, and a lot's changed, right? So, and anyway, also here we got Michelle Edwards, our district traffic engineer. Laura Dallas put together the presentation that we, well, right here, the hard copy and everything. Yeah, you did a great job with that. Okay. Josh Judd, resident engineer out of Gillette, but also acting resident engineer for Newcastle since that's been vacant for, what, 4 years, Josh? So, I mean, still can't get any apps for that, so pursuing it always. Brad Marchand, our maintenance supervisor, covers Weston County, and Guy Phillips, our maintenance foreman here in Newcastle. So, I'm not forgetting anybody, right? So, okay. So going on, yeah, the second slide down, there's our district, goes from the top of the Bighorns all the way over to here, okay, and as far south as into Niobrara County a little bit. Other introductions, our director out of Cheyenne, headquarters is there in Westby. Our chief engineer is Keith Fulton. There's myself for District 4. Susan Holmes is on the Transportation Commission. She covers Sheridan, Johnson, and Campbell counties, and then Mark Hughes, everybody probably knows him around here, as a Transportation Commissioner for Western and Cook County. Real quick, our other staff that's not here today, Larry Konetsky is our district maintenance engineer. Isaac Finkel, our construction engineer, would be here, but he's actually at a job fair over in Rapid City today, trying to find a resident engineer. Michelle, I introduced. Tim is our equipment supervisor, Tim Winslow. Jason Green is our safety officer for the district. We got Carrie Griffith, our HR rep, and Captain Sean Dickerson, which is out of the Casper office, covers these areas now. I introduced Brad and Guy. Dean is our shop supervisor for this area. Joe Lambert, our senior heavy mechanic, takes care of the Newcastle shop, and our lieutenant for highway patrol out of the Gillette office that covers this area is Dwayne Hunt. So for YDOT, our mission, vision, and values, you know, why we're here, what we do is to have that excellent in transportation, provide that safe and effective transportation system, and how we do that is by our values of respect, integrity, dedication, excellence, and safety. Our strategic objectives and agency focus. We always want to recognize, retain, and recruit. Secure additional funding. Our director's really hot on that right now for our legislature, trying to get more revenue coming in for us and building our brand. We always want to serve our customers, which is the public and the counties and the cities. Ensure transparency to all. We don't want to value our team, develop and maintain those partnerships with such as you guys, and appropriately manage our resources and continue to improve and innovate. Some facts across the state. In Wyoming with the DOT, we got 16,000 lane miles to take care of, 6,000 bridges, over 42,000 pipe, 800 miles of guardrail, 80,000 signs, and roughly 12 miles of fence, which is all in good shape until we have fires. Our highway improvement program for fiscal year 26 statewide, we're going to put out to contract over $400 million worth of work. That has state and federal funding in it. We have 30% state funds and 70% federal, which is opposite of the surrounding states and the nation, really, all over the country. where it's, they're 68% state funded and 32% federal. We're different due to the fact we don't have the tax base or the revenue streams come in, state money. So formula-based, population-based stuff. That's why we have more federal, just because we don't have the state funds to be able to switch that around. Our 10-year state revenue history shown on that bar graph there. Revenue coming in is the blue, and then buying power with inflation and everything. You can see how our revenue trend is staying pretty flat, fairly flat, and our buying power is going down rapidly. That's just the way of the world right now. Things are way expensive, and we're not being able to do as much because the dollar isn't going as far. Last year's legislative action, we are going to get around $64 million of extra, I should say extra, state funding due to the vehicle sales tax bill that went through. And that's where the state portion of sales tax on your vehicles is going to WYDOT right now. Talk about local funding and local agents, what we do with our local government program. That top slide, it's probably a little hard for you to read, but that's all the programs that we do and what monies we've distribute out to the communities, whether it's counties or cities, okay? Those partnership programs that we have. The bottom slide, I'll get into a little more detail of the most popular ones that we do, and especially Weston County is involved with the BROS program, the VROS, Bridge Replacement Off System. So the railroad bridge out here, you guys heard about that, right? Where's that at, Mr.? So that's, and then another one that I'll talk about later on Beaver Creek. But, so statewide this year, or no, last year I should say, we BROS was $2.5 million. 660,000 of that was discretionary. So we're getting close on Laura. Okay. Also CMAQ, 2.2 discretionary million of discretionary funds, WYDOT, state funds. Okay. We utilize to distribute out to the counties and maybe cities, but mostly counties for dust suppression on county roads. CRIP, Weston County knows about CRIP too, Commission Road Improvement Program. County Road 1, we're going to rebuild that, you know, with redo the base and repave it. That's a CRIP program. 3.3 million discretionary too that we hand out. And with that program, the counties take on a similar like amount of miles after we pay for this job, which is a 90-10 split. And in this case, Oil City Road, the county, Weston County is going to take over when we're done. Urban assistance programs for towns of over 5,000, same thing, $6.3 million discretionary. The Bridge Formula program is in the latest highway, National Highway Bill, IJA. We were required to spend $6.75 million for these bridge replacements out there. We actually almost quadrupled that, 23 million we're doing, okay, of discretionary funds. That is federal dollars. Enhancements, $2 million for any project, and then context-sensitive amenities is the CSAs. Incorporate those into the project too, some beautification stuff or, you know, anything like that on the project, okay? The reason I want to talk about these, and we're talking about this more this year than usual, there's a note down in the bottom right. Most of these programs, additional funding will be periodically reviewed for effectiveness and continuation. So here we are pursuing more revenue, trying to get more revenue in because we're $400 million short every year for what we want to accomplish and get out of preservation. Some of these funds, I mean, they're there, but it's up to our Transportation Commission if we want to continue those. So if we're continually outpouring more money and want to accomplish our mission, these are going to be reviewed more by our commission and our executive staff. So just kind of a heads up. But right now there's no talk of anything changing, but at the same time, we want to look at those closely with our executive staff and commission, Transportation Commission. Along those lines, on the next page, slide 13, Oh, you're there. Close.
Slow but steady wins the race.
This is called our red-blue map. And probably harder to see on the paper, but so those red routes are non-NHS, I should start over. The blue routes are NHS routes, National Highway System, okay? The red ones are non-NHS. So with our money shifting and prioritizing things, we could be shifting and looking at this closer. Those blue routes are going to be priority. They're the higher traffic routes, in the most need of maintenance and repair or reconstruction. So we could be, I shouldn't say could be, we will be reprioritizing some of these projects, and those red routes aren't going to get as much attention as the blue routes. And it's, if you got this much traffic on one and this much on another, it's just kind of the nature of the world and where we're at with our revenue stream.
Can't really see it. Where are we?
Right there.
Okay, thank you. I see it now. Okay.
Yep. So the NHS routes in this area are 85 south, well, from the state line down, okay? And then the interstates over in I-90, and then Highway 16 from Moorcroft over to here into the state line, okay? So those are our higher, more prioritized routes for this district, or this area. Cook and Weston County, and a little bit of Niobrara. So this map is being distributed and talked about many places, like our director at the JEC and more when the Senate session starts. So let's talk about our STIP now, why we're here, I guess. What's in that? Is it caught up? Can I start looking at that instead of just the paper? Is it gonna work?
Oh, I'm scrolling slowly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. This page.
So we have a 6-year plan for the highway projects, okay? We have a 1-year plan for the transit jobs, 6-year for aeronautics, 1 year for public safety communications, and capital improvements for a year. That's in our STIP document. Those other STIP projects that aren't transportation, like I said, are aeronautics, emergency comms, capital improvements can be in there in the transit jobs, okay? And there's a detail of what those can be. Basically, the budget overview for our STIP is the estimated amount of available funding for construction is determined each year. That includes both federal and state dollars. Each district, all 5 districts in WYDOT, is given a budget amount. It used to be every district got the exact same amount, but now we're kind of shifting these priorities to where District 5, which is on the other side of the Bighorn Mountains, might not get as much money as, like, say, District 1 or District 4 with the interstate systems, right? And District 5 doesn't know what an interstate is. So, those amounts are based on the needs from our asset management systems, which I'll hit a little later. The budget program assigns those funding types to each project and makes sure to spend all the federal funds. And we could have all kinds of different colors of money, different funding pots that are allocated. So with our asset management systems, which is pavement, safety, and bridges, and public input, and boots on the ground like Guy and Brad here and Josh, looking at the system out there, we start putting our inputs together for the STIP. Then we take our public and stakeholder input, that's why we're here today, for those kind of things. Get those candidate projects, start planning for those in the March to August timeframe. And then it goes out for approval with our Transportation Commission and the Federal Highways. October 1, our commission will approve the STIP, which is our fiscal year. Weston County, that map there for future projects. The red are current projects for 2026 and the blue are in the future. In that document, if you go online or get the PDF of it, it breaks down the projects on slide 19 I'm on now. Gives you the information on those jobs, what the scope is, engineer's estimate, and so forth. Okay. And then on the slide 20, it also shows what's in there too. So Weston County, roughly a little over 60 million. Is that what that says? Yeah, $60 million worth of projects over the next 6 years. Okay. Mostly transportation, but you can see there are some transit and aeronautics projects in there too. On to slide 22. There it does list the projects, and then you can look at those as I talk about them. Laura did a really good job on the next slide, putting these together and having photos and the details of the projects. There's your bridge out on above the railroad. Okay, that's going to come down and go back up. So in 2026, 4.9 million. That is under contract right now. Ryman's going to be doing that. Ryman Court. So you haven't heard anything, Josh, on schedule or anything?
Looking at probably starting in March, actually.
Okay.
So,
Getting ready to have pre-con on it?
Yeah, pre-con probably this week.
All right, good deal. Yeah.
Is that Thursday?
Awesome.
That's how you like.
The pre-con on that?
What's that?
Thursday you're gonna have the pre-con?
Yes.
Also, in 2026, we got a mill and overlay between Upton and Sundance on 116. The sand trucks didn't treat that highway well, as you probably well know, and so we're going to do that section. Then 27, the south section of that, from south of Upton 2 for 3.6 million. Also in 27, there's that CRIP job out here on the county road, 3.7 miles FDR with a full depth reclamation with an overlay, 2.6 million. And then, like the note says there, we're going to exchange Highway 451 with that, and that's 2027. All of the city has an ARS with that project and overlay Summit Avenue from the highway over to city limits there. So that'll all get new pavement. So they're going to piggyback with us on that. Also in 27, there's a box culvert, County Road 1A, that at the unnamed drop. I don't know where that's at, Josh, you probably do.
It's south of the bridge.
Okay. We also have another bridge replacement. This is part of that BFP program for 4.4 million out on Beaver Creek. This is the bridge that burned down years ago. Probably like, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago, I think. 6? Is that right? Okay. It seems like I was out there before that. Okay. 2028. No projects, but a cool picture. From.
That's what the service came to town.
There you go.
Not a service. She would include it.
But this 2028 of no projects, I can see that changing. If this is a dynamic document, these projects get shifted around depending on funding and stuff. So. That really never stays like that. 2029, mill and overlay on Highway 16 between Osage and Upton for 13 million. Good sized job there. 2030, another mill and overlay. There's the theme of the day, mill and overlay, mill and overlay. For 10.5 million, the Blacktail Creek section on Highway 85 from 220 to 230 or 229 mile markers. And then in 2031, another mill and overlay, almost 5 million, up to north. On 16, or 116, sorry. Talk about grants, opportunities. Any questions on any of those projects? I should ask that. Comments. There are lots of grant opportunities. We do have a grant. I call him Guru. I should quit doing that, but he's our guy that handles all that at headquarters in Cheyenne. You can click on that link and get all kinds of information on competitive federal grants, which include highway safety, behavioral stuff, aeronautics, and local government transportation, which I know Newcastle participates in. You can get online on our website, go to this map, scan that barcode, and click on these little balloons for each year, and those projects will pop up, and it gets all the information of the projects, and then you're able to go in there and put comments too, or suggestions, or questions, or whatever. Talked about the transit programs and our grants page already. Public transit is permanently provided to our senior centers within the state, so that's where Newcastle comes in. Contact Brandy Miller, who is our new local government program manager down there, and she's can help with all that on the transit stuff.
I have to say, you know, while everybody else is thinking about running for election and how to do that, we have a budget. we have a serious budget. We have a legislature has weighed in, I think, on one vision of Wyoming. And I think it's very important to be thoughtful. And let me say, not a legislature, a joint appropriations committee. But that's the job I have. That's what I was elected to do. And I'm not, when I always tell this story. So Dad told me to go water the chickens. And so I spent the entire morning figuring out a way I didn't have to carry the pails of water over to the chickens. And at noon, he said, "So, did you get the chickens watered?" And I said, "I got this really cool thing, Dad." And he said, "But I told you, go water the chickens." And I think I've got that job. Make sure that we get through this budget session. Thank you.
Contact-wise, there I am with District 4 and Laura for that. And then there's all the contacts for their chief engineer, Keith Fulton. Mark Ian is my supervisor. He's our assistant chief engineer of operations. There's an assistant chief of engineering and planning, Brian Olson. John Davis is the grants manager, or management services manager. So the grant information guy I was talking about. Mark Wingate's our planning engineer, and Brandy I already talked about. So go ahead and visit our website, learn more about the STIP if you'd like, and questions or comments or anything like that, put on there, and that's about it. And I'll continue to stand if there's any questions or input.
Mr.
Can I ask about the County Road 1A Beaver Creek Bridge? I hadn't heard of that even being considered being reconstructed, or what are your plans there? Are you going to replace the entire branch part, the overhead part, or make it a water crossing type situation?
Yes. It's the whole thing, brand new bridge. Yep.
A brand new bridge?
Yes. Yep. And Josh, more details probably. Yeah.
Well, I know the landowners down there, there's no houses beyond that. Another 3 miles, you run into an abandoned highway when you go into Niobrara County, so that don't go anywhere. It is a county road to that county line. And going out the other way is a more or less no maintenance 2-track trail off of 85. But other than grazing and possibly firefighting, what would be the benefit of spending that kind of money on that?
I guess the only way I can answer that's part of that bridge funding program, which is federal dollars from the highway bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our chief engineer and assistant chief engineer at the time, who is oversees the budget with our budget office, grabbed that location as a need to put the bridge back in, since it was there at one time, and spend that federal dollars on it. That's the best I can answer that.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because, I remember when that burnt down. That's how I knew it was 6 years. Because I've only been working here for 7, and it was in the first year. And there is nothing out there. Barely at
We will
all.
take that input and comment to our executive team and go from there.
Well, I'm sure it's important for firefighting, and I'm sure it's
Maybe.
important for those landowners
Maybe,
down
I
there.
can
You
see
know, you
that.
get into emergency service stuff like that,
Yeah.
and what happened to us over a year ago over between Gillette and Buffalo, and that range fire, and you get access issues, right?
Mhm.
So I could see that type of stuff as a reason. There's one there one time, and it's going back in because we have the money to do it too, and there probably is a need for different than other areas, right? So
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
and
Okay.
so.
Just
And I can tell you what happened there. We promised to rebuild a lot of bridges and held that commitment. Then prices of everything goes up, and we were obligated to spend $6.3 million, and now it's 23 because we kept those promises. So across the state.
I believe Halliburton's also looking at mining on the other side of that and using that bridge for access to that mine.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about that. Okay.
The mine is in Weston County.
That would be cool. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
So
But
I don't know. What did I say? What's the estimate on that?
4 points, yeah.
Yeah.
Would that bridge have to be revisited then, Scott? Because if they're gonna future mine for the weight limit across it?
No, all these bridges that we put on county roads are rated for
Are they?
that kind of traffic, yeah. We have them all across the state and the district, you know, we've done a lot of these county road bridges that we make sure they're up to where they need to be.
Will you be using industrial roads? Or is there?
There is no longer industrial roads program. There is, but it's been about 5 years ago, our commission, that was all state funds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and so we're no longer doing that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all state funds. And it was part of those local government programs that I talked about, you know, and there is a program but no funding for it and no commitments for it. So. But we have other avenues like the CRIP and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, Mr. Tran.
Hi, Mr. Taylor. I'm Nick Trandle. I'm the mayor of Upton, Wyoming.
Okay.
We've been really pushing for a crosswalk downtown, across 116 for kids getting out of school and crossing right there. And I've been told by my staff that essentially they've been told that there has to be a casualty or something to be able to move forward with getting that crosswalk put in.
No, that's not the case.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll let Michelle's all over this. She's the one that's been talking to your staff.
Great,
She
okay.
She can explain the process.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done some initial looks and we've taken some data and actually didn't see much crossing there. But I have been working with Mark a bit on that. And
what time of year did you collect that?
Oh goodness. It was during the school year for sure.
Okay.
I knew he told me it was school traffic, but then I didn't see anyone utilizing it during the school year.
Yeah.
It was a nice day. I don't remember exactly what time of year it was.
Okay.
But yeah, but we keep watching it, and it is something that we kind of recognize that sometimes they won't use it until it's there. But
sure.
The reason I sat and observed throughout the whole day to watch is to determine where the best spot is.
Yeah.
You know, everyone can cross wherever they want. You
exactly.
know, if you're gonna put a crosswalk, you want those pedestrians to use that one spot. So.
And I know at one point there had been a crosswalk there decades ago.
Okay.
But yeah, for one reason or another, it disappeared.
Okay. Yeah, I can look into that history too.
Okay.
And see what that might be. So.
And something else that we were looking into was expanding our speed limit out to city limits on the west side of town.
Yes, I'm in the process of working on that, and I actually had a conversation with our state traffic engineer last week to getting really close to making those happen. Yeah,
wonderful.
Both west side, looking a little bit on the east side, and then 116 north as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. You know, a lot of folks, you can just throw a crosswalk up or change the speed limit anytime you want. But no, there's a process, and there's the engineering and the science and the planning that goes into that you got to do. So,
okay.
And those things you have to meet certain warrants to be able to do those events. So.
Yep.
I have just a little question on this County Road 1, the bridge replacement there. There's that subdivision that's down there. Is this going to be a problem for access for any of those people that are kind of living down in that little place there?
During construction?
Yeah.
Yeah, there won't be a bridge there, so they're gonna have to go around. Yeah. And we had public meetings talking about this and stuff, so they're all very aware of that. Yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah.
You touched on it slightly. When is Mr. Hughes's term up?
It's got to be close. I'm actually having lunch with him today, but you know, as you well know, it's 6 years, and I bet he's in his last year. Close to
That's what I was thinking. It's got to be very close, and the next commissioner needs to come from Weston County, correct?
Yes, because before him it was Niobrara with Mike Larson, and then so Weston County, and I always get asked for a list of names, and when that comes up, I'm going to make a call to you and see if you have any suggestions, or anybody else for that matter. So.
Well, there has been a commissioner served 2 terms.
That's right. So maybe you'd want to again.
Don't know about that.
Yep. So I usually send a list out, and it goes to the governor's office and our executive staff. And
sure.
Sometimes that process or that person gets selected, and sometimes they have somebody else.
Yes.
In mind.
Very correct.
As an add-on, then you can perpetuate the name of the salt and sand buildings.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can
yes.
The
perpetuate.
Ertman sand buildings.
The other thing that,
Ertman.
this isn't working for me. This QR
Grants
code.
program, QR.
It's not working for me. Doesn't work for you. The other one does perfectly.
What page number?
18, the grants one.
You got it. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, why are you doing it? So I wonder, sorry.
You got an iPhone?
No,
Well, that's
maybe
why.
that's the problem.
It should work
Oh,
regardless.
shit. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a new phone.
It's a brand new phone. I mean, this is supposed to be smarter than I am, which is not a hard part. I mean, that's not a. See, it tells you you can get it. See? App not found.
That's weird.
Do you have the QR code
I got-
reader turned on in your settings? We had that happen the other night at a public meeting.
Yeah, I got this one with no problem. That one was cool, but not this one. So, add on to that. Is this the YDOT grants page? Is that part of the grants management agency?
Yes.
Okay, so that.
Or no, I thought management services is what you're asking. Go ahead.
So are those two separate?
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me.
I bet they work together.
I was gonna say, tell me, is there a duplicity of efforts there? Because I just went to it the other day, to the management agents, the grants management part of that. And one of it was the interaction between federal funds and state funds. And there said something about local government, but I couldn't quite gather what I was, I went through every page and everything. So tell me, is there duplicity? Is there, how is that working out? Because there seems to be a shift of some of the things that the Wyoming Business Council does, and they want to seem to shift it to the grants management. But if the grants management is already doing a highway type issue, then what are you guys doing too?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure if that grants management
Definitely call
agency is
John Davis and he will know.
doing
Yeah.
highway related
He-
things.
he-
Yeah,
And,
I imagine they work a little bit in
I'm
tandem,
not
but
sure they do.
yeah, we'll know
He
for
would
sure.
know. That's why. Okay, here's the guy to call and here's the link because we do not
That's
have
okay.
any kind of expertise on that.
Well, that's not a problem. I
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I mean,
Definitely, he'll know that for sure.
we're running into roadblocks of all this interesting, now we're gonna split and all this stuff, and, you guys have a lot of experience of being separated from. And so I'm just curious what the interaction's gonna be, and once again, I'll say that word again, cause it rolls off my tongue so well. The duplicity, and if the argument is that we don't wanna do that, then it seems like we are.
Yeah, and ours may be related specifically to federal highway funds, that we manage those because we have to. Whereas, there's other federal funds from other federal agencies that might be going more through that grants management agency.
Well, there's a whole thing about, it's like a JJ, it's a federal fund.
Yeah.
The IJA.
IJA.
That's our current federal
Bless you.
bill. IIJA.
You need for next time. I need to.
And, all right, help me out. What's IIJA stand for again? Infrastructure and Investment Jobs Act.
There you go. Good job. Teamwork. Can we get a gold star on that? It's just, I'm just trying to struggle through this and where this is all going. I'm confused.
Might have had that backwards. Investment in infrastructure and the Jobs Act or something like that. But yeah. Right. Anything else? Or concerns or comments?
I got
Yes.
one real quick. We had put out bids for CMAC last summer, and one of our contractors missed one box. It ended up costing us $30,000. It wouldn't have changed anything on the bids, but I got a picture here of over here on the railroad bridge that they just did. Look at this. Tell me your thoughts on that. That is a tree stump with rebar going around it. They poured concrete over that, and there's not even enough room on top of this tree stump for rebar.
What?
You don't want
Oh, I
mean,
want to know.
Well, we get held to on our end by contract, $30,000 because the contractor missed checking a box, and then something like that flies on a bridge project.
I couldn't tell you what the circumstances were there, and I don't know if Josh could either. But
They had a chainsaw in Minneapolis, that's what they did.
Sure, it's not petrified.
No, it was a green tree that they cut down. Just a,
Can I have this?
you can have that.
It's good to know.
You know, it's just one of them deals like walk by, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
And
As far as the CMAC goes, you know, there were some other counties that
Yeah.
were successful this year too. There's, I know with federal dollars involved with that, it's being looked at a lot closer, audit purposes and stuff like that. And we got a new coordinator, you know, so.
it was, I mean, I get it, it was, you know, the bids, you follow to the T, and there's that one, the contractor, the cheapest contractor missed one box. So.
You know, this brings me to a point, you know, and I met with Susan Holmes yesterday and meeting with Commissioner Hughes today, like I said, and we have been without a resident engineer and half of the crew for over 4 years, right? So we got 3 people on the crew right now. Things are gonna get missed.
Yeah.
We cannot, you know, he comes here a couple times a week and takes away from his Gillette duties and this, you know, and this crew isn't getting or the projects aren't getting the keen eye on it all the time. And that's, we have got to do something different with our vacancies and we need help, period. And that goes a long ways. And, you know, sometimes we have a stewardship agreement with FHWA to make sure all these projects are getting built properly up to certifications and everything as per federal regs, right? If we don't have any workers, we're gonna start consulting stuff out. We can't do anything else. And then that's just gonna cost everything, you know, so.
The new store. This is the one-stop shop. We have a pharmacy. We have a bootlegger's liquor. The deli, the food that you can get at a lunchtime is so amazing. The coffee shop. Certain Friday mornings, there's 30 people sitting here in all these chairs. This is the hub for people to come and visit, have their coffee, have their donuts. It's amazing what this area has done. Totally amazing.
And I know our director has talked about that at the JC and other avenues about our vacancies. And a lot of people see the vacancies in highway patrol and maintenance, and which is our snowplow drivers. True, but we're pretty strong on snowplow drivers right now in this district. We are really bad on construction. We got 43 construction positions in this district, and we're down 15. So over 35% vacancy, and we cannot seem to get people hired. And that's where we need help. And so, I'm not making that as an excuse for something like that, but we're in a bad way right now with vacancies, and we do need help. So, there's my soapbox. Yes, sir.
Judy Williams, flesh that out for me just a little bit. What are the primary concerns for recruitment and retention? What are the barriers?
There's a lot, you know, and I've been going through this for 5 or 6 years now, but of course, obvious one is pay. I mean, we're still on the 2022 pay tables, and we don't compare to surrounding states as far as our state workers, right? We're still way below. I know there's the governor's budget request put in for us going to the 24 pay tables. That's not too popular right now, I don't think. There's a moving situation, you know. We don't have a lot of people that want to move. When I did it, I moved across the state twice. Well, across the district in District 1 once, and then when I was a resident engineer and I moved up here from Laramie. We had full relocation packages in that helped our folks out. Society-wise, there's a lot of dual income families, kids, and I get all that, you know. We got folks in our own organization that are qualified to be resident engineers, a lot of them across the state, and they're not putting in for these resident engineer jobs. Part of the reason is they get overtime, and I think they make a little more money. That's not a consistent thing, you know, but trying to get these jobs appealing, and this is a public forum, right? I have to watch it. But, and it comes into, and I could talk this to death, but, and I've talked with our director a lot. Being in the preservation mode, this is a really cool place to work, and you learn a lot. You know, preservation mode, the mill and fill, the mill and overlays. We don't build and reconstruct stuff anymore, and maybe that's not helping our recruitment. University of Wyoming has a construction management program now too, which outnumbers both the architectural and civil engineer program. And so we don't have a construction management position in YDOT. It's engineers and techs, all right? So that doesn't help probably, you know, so it's just there's a lot there and a lot of reasons. And it's an appealing place to work. I've been over here 30 years, over 30 years, right? And I was here at the beginning of it out of college where we reconstructed stuff. We had the revenue coming in and we rebuilt stuff. I was in District 1 on I-80, you know, just blowing and going all the time. We don't have that kind of projects anymore that maybe not isn't appealing to this generation of engineers. That's my opinion.
I appreciate the candid conversation.
Yeah,
very much.
and we can have many more of it offline if you'd like. So, yeah.
And as far as that goes, for anybody in the room, contact me at any time because that's a conversation we're having and on the case that needs made, the point that needs made. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cool things down a little bit.
Good.
Bring it back down to a local level that might be controversial, but not like that. So I'm just gonna cool it down. On the bridge on Highway 85, just out of the old Highway 85, just out of curiosity. I noticed how the bridge over the railroad here in town was built, and there seems to be a snow issue. And is in the design phase going to have those two walls? Are they?
I would imagine those are pretty much required
Required by
the
law.
NSF.
Well, your foamers are going to write you nasty letters, which that's the way. Do you know what a foamer is?
Okay, go.
Okay. Foamers are people that stand on those railroad bridges and take pictures. They love trains.
Okay.
So we get every Sunday in the summertime 2 and 3 sets of foamers that spend all day waiting for a train to come through, and they take photographs. They sell those photographs. Everything. The only issue I have, I'm not necessarily worried about. You know, they can live with it, but they do trespass, and they get on being, you know, not a cool thing to do.
Right.
You start pushing the envelope of where they want to take those pictures at, and it gets a little spooky. If we can save one side for them, but I also wonder about the snow removal because getting. I hope that was taken into consideration because that could be a stack of snowball right there.
Yeah, we're yeah.
I can answer
Go
that,
ahead,
Scott,
yeah.
because what we had to do to change from what we've done in the past is we had to square our plows up and we push everything all the way across the bridge before we deposit. Before we could take everything from the school side to the off section and then deposit it and get it off the track or off the overpass. But with those snow blowers, we literally have to square our plows up and take everything across before we get rid of it.
So our county will have to learn to adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I mean,
Just like I got with the city about using a broom instead of a square or steel plow when they do the sidewalk there, the broom's able to deposit it and it helps. But yeah, we had to adjust to it too.
Thank you for your time.
You got, Mr. Chair, anything else? Or anybody else for that matter?
Thank you,
Okay.
Scott.
Coming down.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
See you later.
Where you guys doing that?
Just take it underneath on the coach.
Push it at 3 and
So it's on the
city at
above coming
6.
down. On the football field side.
Northeast tours here at City
It's not
West.
structural, but it's not right.
Yeah. I mean, you have a chainsaw anyway. I'll just throw it out.
I'd stay for your executive session, but I find it too interesting.
It's not much fun being outside.
You want to take it with you? It's like a trophy.
No, I don't think so. pop up the way it was supposed to?
I think so, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
He's not leaving.
Doesn't like the number.
Oh, that's next. I see JD's hat.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, may we have a break?
You bet.
Thank you.
Take a 10-minute recess, 15 minutes. Yeah, 15.
How long you need, Mark?
Let's see.
We're not
And I was
scheduled
gonna do this and
for
then I
another
was.
22-ish.
Okay.
How do you log out of this thing?
Yeah.
You know how to log out of this? See where maybe
You have to go through it, the upper right hand corner is next. At least you have everything.
I was wondering if that might work.
No, it should have everything.
I guess I can just log out at the end.
I mean, did you go to file?
Not yet.
Scroll down. That just closes it.
I'll just log out of the computer, I guess, whenever.
Yeah, Outlook, I don't really use.
Yeah.
Doing all right?
No.
Stiff?
Today's not the day.
It'll be another day.
You know, when I had physical therapy yesterday, they drew some more exercises, you know. My next therapy is on Thursday, before
Story
Thursday.
was,
It probably won't be too much pain.
Right.
Nervous to talk to Casey and Sawyer today.
But
Our little dog died last night.
Oh, dear.
And Sawyer especially loves that.
Really?
Loves that dog.
Yeah.
The story's been told at school.
Oh, bummer. She's pretty bummed out, huh? Or has it been sick?
Well, we just found out a week ago she had kidney disease.
Oh,
She had in a week, just IV fluids, and finally last night, the vet here just said they did a final kidney test and the damage was too bad.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, the story handles stuff like that pretty good.
Does she?
Yeah, the story's pretty faithful. So she's, very adamant that Lydia's up with God now and things like that. So story handles it better than the rest of the house.
Funny.
She was mainly worried about Sawyer then.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fine, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure the girls, they're kind of animal lovers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And for some reason,
Slow and shitty.
Sawyer just really connected with that little.
I know. I know what I'm talking about though, because
Is that a wiener dog?
you know,
No, he died
at the
a
same
year ago.
Oh.
That
same
old
generation that we're
Yeah.
losing motivation.
This one, she
and
looks like
ambitions
a
to work,
miniature
we're also
picture.
using
Black and
AI.
copper.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a good thing.
No,
I'm sure it's.
Somebody has to
Yeah.
do something.
there has to be hands on
There's only so many times a day AI is going to be able to kind of accommodate. When they need workers on the ground, tearing highways and setting survey posts and things like that. I mean,
You should go out there
I
and
don't
walk around with that survey stick.
think, I think it has a lot less. I think they could probably triple the rate. And I think people would just be like, no, I'd have to work outside. What if it's raining? I'm not going to do that. Exactly. I don't think it's a matter of what they're offering for wages. They're trying, like you were saying, he was trying to incentive the positions. And if they're down that many, you got to build motivation in this world. Is what you got to do. Bring that American dream back up to the surface, and then you'll have workers.
Those guys, all concrete on the interstate. They're old school guys. So they got the posts and they got the string that the machine follows. But this last job I was on, they're getting ready to send one of their machines back to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It's gonna be all GPS on it. So the guy won't even sit, there won't be the stake and the strings.
No.
It's just all gonna be off satellite and that machine.
Right.
You know, the guy just, and as long as there's concrete in the machine, it's just gonna, it'll follow the curves, do the thicknesses and everything. One of the worst, like, you know, if you touch one of our posts with a sear tire, let us know. You could tell somebody did that, because it would leave a horseshoe, because the way the pins are on. But yeah, that was the thing, and as they're going on, tell the old guys.
Yeah.
Probably 60-year-old Jay, the old guy, he's out there about 30 foot in front of that machine. He's down there on his hands and knees and lining up them. He'll look right, he'll no, you know. The old trades are passing.
I think it's always a trade-off, and I'm kind of torn between this AI thing. I'm torn because I understand, you know, the advantages that they'll say, well, you know, you can do this, and you can do this for a lot less, and however, I mean, it's a robot, so I understand what a robot does, but you take, for instance, like I said, I talked to somebody that's pushing AI. I've got 2 employees that are really excited that love their job.
It can't have been the newest.
How ecstatic would they be if I showed up at the shop this afternoon and said, hey guys, I've got this guy coming in, he's going to demonstrate this AI computer that does all the body work, sanding and painting. And I'm looking to maybe invest in knowing the person who does their job if this is perfect.
It's not that.
That's a problem.
Birthday, Christmas,
Because
whatever.
oh, jeez.
I know I've been saving up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know.
That always
I don't
reminds me of Gidget
more
back.
electronic.
That's every time. Marty and
The more I
Gidget, you know,
the more
getting
successful you are, if somebody hacks it, you're coming to a screeching halt.
Oh,
like
You know,
bookish or weird
so
songs.
tell some of these young
Marty
generations,
has
you
one.
gotta go over here and pick something up.
She
They
had
can't put it in
a
their phone. They have no idea how to
in
go
my
across
faces.
town.
We can't even have a
Like her kissing
county
on the
email
socks.
without people
I still wear
hacking
those
junk.
meetings and stuff because they're
You
dress
know,
socks.
Do we expect to run an AI world?
Those are awesome stories, absolutely
Criminals
bewildering.
out there?
Yeah.
Like how those
I wouldn't
exist.
even know how to
Oh,
combat
you
it.
even got those.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Like,
That was such a
Are
cool.
you and
Poking buttons.
kissing
Yeah, they're out.
On your sock.
Yeah.
Thank
That
you.
part of it.
You're welcome.
I am
It's
kind
fun.
of old school when it comes down to things. I like hands-on stuff. I like facts. First hand.
Yeah, some of them, I mean, they're so fun. You need to go to meetings and go like this. That's how I feel about it.
He gave me one.
Kind of funny yesterday, this guy called me.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was
Those
like,
are
Nathan, are we on a break till 1:10?
Another 5 minutes prior, so.
Thank you all.